Welcome to 3 Script Points, where I like to look at a particular TV show or movie to help scrutinize various aspects of screenwriting. The Old Man is based on a novel by Thomas Perry and distributed by Disney through the FX network. Let's look at these 3 script points of story setup, script spice, and revelation. Beginning with story setup, and 4 minutes goes on the clock, and let's keep to this time as much as I can. Story setup is something that is relevant to all screenplays. However, with a television series spanning a few episodes, it's ultimately very important to set the scene and by the end of episode 1 ensure that you've got a captive audience. This show certainly has us begging to stay involved, as we have this powerhouse of a character and actor, Jeff Bridges playing Dan Chase, and the first episode begins showing us what he is going through as an old man. The scene is set as he wakes up repeatedly from his sleep and goes to the bathroom. And we're presented with images of a woman who happens to be his dead wife. Story setup in The Old Man is very much around the inciting incident, which is essentially the break-in that occurs and establishes how Dan Chase, how he handles that situation, and then provides an excuse when he phones the police to inform them that he's had a break-in and he's shot the intruder.
You recognize me now?
You want to tell me your name?
And the break-in by no means is any kind of local snatch and grab. It's something that's calculated, particularly when we realize that the intruder has a weapon with a silencer, not something that your average robber would carry. The inclusive scene of Dan Chase getting your average go bag full of weaponry, passports, and currency. This certainly emphasizes that his past is significant in terms of military or government service. So you can see how the setup is not only important, but how, by watching The Old Man, how they have done it and created great anticipation for us, the audience, to find out, well, what was his past. Second script point, script spice. Script spice is just taking something further that aids in character revelation or informing us on how a character would react in a situation. Script spice is something that can be through action and description or dialogue. It's something that Quentin Tarantino does a lot with his dialogue and telling stories and creating scenarios. And as Robert McKee writes in his book Story, copy back here, he talks about imitating life. Presenting something and saying it's like life, and in doing so you're making things much more tenable for the audience because maybe they've had that experience too. And here in the introduction of Dan Chase's character in the early part of the setup, we have him visiting the doctor's surgery. He does that thing that doctors do. Dan Chase is talking about his memory issues and he's rather concerned about this, and goes on to say that he wants to make sure that he is okay. The doctor seems to be preoccupied. He has this lukewarm responsive, I see. A begging response is just left hanging in the air by Dan Chase, and he looks down at this guy and pushes with, "So, are we sure?" The doctor just responds casually. It's just one of those frustrating situations that we all experience in life when we feel something's important and the other person you're faced with seems to be on a different planet. A lot of additive script spice comes in fantastic dialogue that really allows the actors to act. What it essentially does, and what we see here, is a line is delivered and it has a degree of gravity and depth that the other actor can simply respond with facial nuances. This is just an extra level of dressing. Oh, 4 minutes is up and I'm past the timer. Anyhow, let's continue. Script spice.
Very careful with this story, Mr. Waters. It bites.
And this show has many helpings. Finally, third script point of revelation. Revelation is something very important. It's about revealing characters as much as story and where things are going. We have a poignant scene at the beginning as Dan Chase is being introduced through his getting up during the night, and this is intermingled with flashbacks, which essentially are him dreaming back to situations with his wife with declining health. In this particular scene, we see how she, in her fragile state, seems to have a moment of clarity and poignancy and reveals something about her husband and his past. She says, "Who am I? I know who you are. I know what you are. I see you." This really lends a level of depth and intrigue. If a wife is revealing these ideas, then there must be some gravity to them. Who is Dan Chase? Revelation is something also to be handled very carefully, because you don't want to play your cards too early and be too obvious and spoil the game. I hope that was useful for you guys to see screenwriting in action and seeing it pitched against a live show that you've got access to yourselves, so you can see the points that I've brought up and relate them to something visual. Do come back and visit for the next 3 script points, where we'll look at another show or movie and study aspects of screenwriting. If you've written your screenplay and need to have it polished to pass through the scrutiny of the industry reader, then join my clients for the Formatting and Basic Editorial package to eliminate issues with your screenwriting conventions and standards. I offer a personal and considered service, as I do not farm out to contractors. Link is in the description below.